All right. And welcome everybody to another episode of the Kasanova podcast. This is episode 9. I got a very, very special guest. I'm really excited to have him on the podcast. Is the one and only Blandrew. Blandrew, go ahead and introduce yourself. Everybody, we all know who you are, but for the people that don't, tell them why you're famous.
Yeah, I'm kind of famous for having controversial opinions. I like Nintendo a lot, classic PlayStation, and yeah.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. I'm really glad to have you on the show. I mean, man, I've been a fan of you for years, man. Like your content is definitely second to none, man. Like
Thanks, man.
Your editing to the content, how you just wrap everything together, like that's amazing.
Yeah, thanks. Got to get back to doing that though. Got to stop canceling all these videos.
I mean, YouTube is a grind though. Like I'm finding it hard to not only have the passion to do a video, but like with work, like because I work at a hospital, it's when I get home, I'm just tired.
Yeah, don't have enough time to do it.
But yeah, so I guess some of the topics we're going to talk about today, people, is going to be we're going to start off with gaming industry, how it was in 2017, even now here in the beginning of 2018, in comparison to like the previous years. Some highs, some lows, some areas that I guess the gaming industry as a whole could improve upon. But yeah, Blandrew, what's your thoughts, man?
Let's see. Well, overall, I think last year was probably one of the best years that we had in gaming. It's a shame that Microsoft really couldn't be a part of that outside of Cuphead, but yeah, they really need to get back on track because it's looking kind of weak for them. But overall, I'm pretty good with it. I'm not liking a lot of the business practices that are going on with gaming, like microtransactions and all this other stuff, but it's pretty solid right now.
Yeah, well, aside from Cuphead, what else did Microsoft actually drop last year?
Oh, they have Forza, Voodoo Vince, Phantom Dust, which is bad.
They did bring those back. Yeah, I was wondering. I'm like, man, what else did they have aside from? I mean, yeah, because of course we're gonna get Forza every year. Mm-hmm. When did we get Dead Rising? Oh, Dead Rising was 2016, right?
Yeah, it was like the very end of 2016.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty weak on the software front, especially with what Sony and Nintendo were doing.
Yeah, they were just kind of playing it safe last year. It's like a lot of their games from last year got delayed to this year.
True. I mean, I feel like with 2017, like I'm completely going to agree with you. I think we started that off with a bang, and I just feel like it was just hit after hit after hit. Like every month there was something to play, and for once it didn't, suck being a Nintendo fan and having like Nintendo console with how well they supported it. Like, I mean, we started off with Breath of the Wild on the Switch, and it's just like that came a week or 2 weeks after Horizon, I believe, right?
Yeah, it was like Horizon, Breath of the Wild, Persona, and Nier all in that time span.
That was crazy.
Yeah. It's been a while since I had a backlog for Nintendo, so that's good. Very,
very true. Like, same here, man. Like, I haven't had one since, I want to say since, if I'm going to be honest, I'm going to say Wii U with
GameCube for me.
Yeah, true. GameCube had, which if you had to pick between GameCube and Wii U, if it came down to exclusive Nintendo IPs, which would you say is better?
Come on, man. It's GameCube.
There's going to be some people that's going to ask that question, though. So,
well, the Wii U did have some good stuff. Like I'm a big fan of the Wonderful 101, and I thought Tropical Freeze is probably one of their best developed games ever.
Very, very true. And how do you feel about all the games that are like with the Nintendo Mini Direct or Direct Mini that are going to be brought back?
A lot of people were kind of split on this, disappointed, but I'm actually for a lot of these games. I think Ys would make a great addition to the library. I think that's a good handheld mode game for me. Willing to give that a chance now that it's on a Nintendo console. Could potentially lead into a sequel. What else was there? Tropical Freeze desperately needed to come to the Switch because the Wii U game could have sold a whole lot better. And yeah, I just thought it was a really solid direct.
Yeah. I feel like when it came to the direct, I think a lot of people kind of overhyped it themselves and got themselves just into a frenzy. And so when Nintendo actually dropped stuff, it was, I think they let themselves down in a way. Not, it wasn't even on Nintendo for the letdown.
I was seeing crazy rumors like Fire Emblem Pirates and all this other crazy stuff. So
I know.
Yeah, that's on them.
You got some fans in the chat. Also, Jiggly says he loved your review on Day of the Sky Soldier. Got Xander Skillian up in here. We got Riku Key. So, man, you have a lot of fans, man. Especially out here in Hawaii, you have a shit ton of fans. Like, for real.
Shout out to my Hawaii brethren.
But yeah, like we, going back to like, the 2017. I mean, we had literally all those titles in one condensed time span, and it's I don't know, like if I was a professional reviewer, I don't know how I would be able to get through all these games at one time within that block. Like, what is it? Persona 5 Guaranteed, that's a 100-hour game.
Yeah.
So
that's why I haven't been uploading a lot recently. I've just been getting games after game, so it's not really been enough time enjoying games before I actually do videos on them.
Yeah, that's the best way. Like, I've told people that 2017 was definitely one of the best and worst times to be a gamer. It's the best because you've got so much to play, so much to choose from, but I feel like it's the worst at the same time because, if you're adult like most of us, you got jobs, you got family, we got whatever, you don't have enough time to play everything. So it's going to stretch out over the course of a year, maybe two. So
yeah,
man, that's crazy. But what are some of your highlights for like some of the highs and lows you think were of 2017?
Let's see. Well, high was definitely Breath of the Wild. That just went to one of my favorite games of all time. Mario Odyssey was really good. I'm playing through Xenoblade right now. It's the first game on Switch that I have over 100 hours in, and not a lot of games do that for me nowadays. What else was there? I just got an Xbox One, and I'm really enjoying Cuphead. I didn't really play any bad games last year. I've been mostly Switch, 3DS, and indies all last year.
Oh, you didn't play, what's that game that came back that nobody expected? Bubsy.
No. $40?
Man, I don't even know what made them think that putting that game at $40 is going to sell. If they put it at 20, I could see people copying that.
Yeah, and it made it worse because like Cuphead was $20.
Yep. And see what else I think. Well, I mean, did you play like? Did you buy into the hype of like Wolfenstein 2 or the Shadow of War or anything like that?
Nah, those aren't really my type of games.
Yeah, because I feel bad for people that would have picked up. I mean, I'm not saying Wolfenstein 2 is a bad game. I've played it. I've enjoyed it. But for full price, and it's only about roughly 5 to 6 hours long, and there's no multiplayer, and I don't know, like it's
even worse is that it went for like $30 on Black Friday.
Yeah, like what? 2-3 weeks after it came out.
Yeah,
that was crazy. But yeah, I think if I had to say like for highs, I mean definitely like you said, Breath of the Wild. I agree with you on that. I feel like Nintendo just came with it with each title they brought out last year. I mean, even ARMS, which I think I'm not gonna say it was a failure as an IP. I just don't think it caught on the way they wanted to. Like, what do you think about that? Yeah, it didn't.
Unintentional there. I thought ARMS was really good. It's a shame that it died down like super quick as soon as Splatoon dropped, but when it was that, I enjoyed playing it.
I mean, do you think we're gonna get like a sequel to that, or you think their next quasi boxing style game might be Punch Out?
What team made ARMS? I think that's the Mario Kart team.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that would be a next generation title. I think they've done all they could with ARMS right now, and they're probably just working on something else.
Yeah, because I think all the DLC for it is out. I think, and that was one thing I thought they did well was all the DLC was free
Yeah.
for that one. I do feel like you know, when it comes to like the Nintendo Switch, that if they had not have released it with Breath of the Wild, I'm not gonna say that it wouldn't have done as well, but it needed that big title to launch with it to be super as successful as it is now. What do you
Oh
think?
yeah, definitely. I mean, remember that launch lineup? All we really had was Breath of the Wild, Snipper Clips, Shovel Knight. Yeah, it wouldn't have sold off those games.
And so then they followed it up like a month and a half later. You had a Mario Kart, and then following that you had Arms, and then Splatoon. But
Street Fighter, Puyo Puyo. Yeah,
what did you think of the Street Fighter controversy?
I was mad. It is like because it doesn't even make sense that Capcom would test Nintendo fans when their games really don't sell anywhere.
True. I know a lot of people will say like it's support of the game of was the HD remix from like 2008. Yeah.
$40.
You know what they should have done if they were going to do anything right? They should have done what they're doing this year with the collection. That should have been last year.
Yeah.
Throw that on the Switch. Update the graphics or the sprite art for Street Fighter 3 Third Strike and for Alpha. Like that would have made more sense at $40. Like I think that's a great value versus what they had. So
yeah, because it's pretty much the online arcade, whatever it's called, for the PS3 and 360.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Yeah, except for Way of the Hado, and no way should Way of the Hado cost $20 extra compared to the PS3 and 360 ports.
And it didn't even work half the time, I don't think either.
Yeah, that was the lowest one of the game.
Did you ever play it? I didn't even touch it.
Yeah, I played it like one time for like 30 seconds and then turned it off.
Oh man. What do you think of like when it comes to like have you played Horizon Zero Dawn?
No, not yet.
See, for me, Horizon Zero Dawn got spoiled because I played that first and I beat it and I loved it. And then I went and played Breath of the Wild. And then when I finished Breath of the Wild and I went back to Horizon Zero Dawn, I felt so limited, man.
Yeah, like, that's what literally everybody tells me about it. Like, start off with Horizon if you have intentions on playing Zelda, because once you play Zelda, you're not gonna be able to go back to Horizon.
Yeah,
I remember even like reviewers were coming out here and saying that if they played Zelda first, they would have gave Horizon lower scores.
Yeah, and I can completely agree with that. I mean, Horizon has an excellent story, has good voice acting. I enjoyed the graphics, but the mechanics. I mean, it's like if you're trying to climb something, unless it's obviously like showing with the white highlight, kind of like it does in I want to say what's the game, Uncharted, where you
like
can
it'll glow.
Yeah, like
okay.
You have to know that you can climb on it to be able to even do anything with it. But and after playing Breath of the Wild, where you have so much freedom to just explore and do what you want to do, going back to that, it's just jarring. Like I can't bring myself to play it. Even the Frozen Wilds, like I'm like, I don't even care about playing that DLC just because I'm spoiled on an open world mechanic now.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to try it because fighting some of those bigger enemies looks like it could be pretty fun.
Yeah, they definitely were creative with the combat when it comes to boss battles. I like the concept of being able to make makeshift arrows as you go, like just picking up something and making it. I think that's something that would have been nice to have implemented in Breath of the Wild. But
crafting?
Yeah, well, like crafting arrows, like versus trying to go and find them.
Okay, yeah.
So, but yeah, let's see. Sony. Our next topic, people, is going to be like Sony. We kind of feel like they're staying the course and not really trying to make brave moves or bold moves, just because they're in the lead. Like, Blandrew, do you think that Sony is being lazy or comfortable, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, they're definitely being comfortable and kind of lazy because I remember last year Jim Ryan was talking about like talking about backwards compatibility and nobody wants it. They're pretty much all conferences that they had were pretty lackluster. They were showing the same things over and over, and I don't really know what to look forward to after Ni no Kuni drops, and that's in March.
Oh yeah, it's true. I mean, what all is coming out this year? Is the Detroit Becoming Human? There's Spider-Man, Days Gone, is
God of
God of War,
War.
and then that's it, right?
It might be. Maybe The Last of Us. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I feel like Last of Us might be like an early 2019.
Yeah, like summer or something.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like I know how a lot of people have been ragging the Nintendo for all the ports that have been coming, but I feel like when we had the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, like the first year and a half to 2 years of those console lifespan, we had Port City,
Yeah, Port
especially
City.
on especially on the PlayStation. Like I remember God of War came out, you had the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection, you had what else was there? The Last of Us remastered. Like they were constantly remastering games, like over and over and over and over and over.
Okay, okay. I don't think games like God of War, even though I think 1 and 2 should have been there, I don't think games like Nathan Drake Collection or The Last of Us are bad because a lot of those are exclusive to PS3, so they're not multi-plat, so a lot of people potentially miss those. But Sleeping Dogs, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy X-2 remastered twice.
Didn't it come out like within months of the PlayStation 3 and Vita remaster?
Yes. And it was more expensive on the PS4.
I don't understand why they did that.
Square Enix, man.
And it's just like the other thing too is when the Kingdom Hearts remasters as well. I feel like people could have just gotten the two that came out on PlayStation 3, and then not even a year later, here it is again. It's on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
So
aren't they
it's like,
remastering it? Like, haven't they remastered that game like 3 or 4 times or something?
yeah, they have. And it's like I don't understand why they did that. It's like I don't know. Like at this point, I mean, do you even think they're gonna drop 3 this year?
No. I don't just know. I don't believe that game's coming out this year.
Yeah, I've been expecting them to drop 3 probably in like 2030. We'll have like more integral games. They'll just build a story. I don't even know what the hell the story is to Kingdom Hearts anymore. Like,
Yeah, I mean, either people try to explain it to me, but I just zone out whenever that happens.
like no lie, like my wife, because she's a big gamer too. That's actually her setup that's behind me. She was interested in getting into Kingdom Hearts after coming off of Breath of the Wild, and I was like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And she's like, "Yeah, I want to get into it. I want to learn. I want to play. Because all my friends say it's so amazing." I played her a 20-minute synopsis video, and I swear to God, 7 to 8 minutes into that video, she's like, "I'm good. I have no idea where they're going with this story."
Yeah, I mean, Kingdom Hearts are fun games. I'm not even going to lie about that. I mean, they're charming, but I just don't know what's going on. I mean, if you're in it strictly for the gameplay, I say go for it, but the story could definitely be better.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't argue with you on that because I think the gameplay itself is what Square has done the best with as far as like an action RPG style. But I'm just gonna say this, and I'm probably gonna draw the ire of a lot of people, but I don't think Tetsuya Nomura is a very good scenario or story writer. Like, I think he's good at art, creating cool looking characters, but as far as a story he's created for Kingdom Hearts,
But you like his character designs?
I mean, his millionth vision of Sephiroth, yeah.
They're kind of driving me insane in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 right now. Like I can just look at some of the characters and say, yeah, that's Nomura.
I mean, yeah, I just feel like, and I guess this can segue into like another topic, but I kind of feel like Square has shifted away from Final Fantasy being their primary, like their star franchise. Now it's Kingdom Hearts. And honestly, like, I don't know if you beat 15. I played 15 up till chapter 6, and I'm like, I just don't care. Like, the story just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I haven't played 15, but I'll probably get to it, but it's not something I'm like wanting to get to it. Like I'm dying to get to.
And like, what are your thoughts like when it comes to like Square? Like, do you think that they've grown too big and they're trying to do too much, which is the reason? Like, I guess us fans of the older games and older stories, like, do you think they've just lost sight of that, or?
Wait,
And
which Square Enix are we? Are we talking like Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, and Hitman, all that stuff combined, or just the RPG side of Square Enix?
we can go either way, whichever one you want to go with.
We'll stick RPG because I didn't play any of those other games. But I think Square Enix is actually at their best when they're making like B tier games. I think their bigger budget games are actually worse than games like, because like Project Octopath Traveler is one of the best games I've played from Square Enix since like The World Ends With You. And even things like Bravely Default and I Am Setsuna, and I think Lost Sphere is going to be pretty good. I think those are way more exciting than Final Fantasy 16 or Kingdom Hearts.
Agreed, very very much so. Like, when I played the Project Octopath Traveler, that demo, just, I mean, the art style, the aesthetics, and the gameplay. I was like, man, is this brought me back to like the '90s Square.
Yeah, the
And
story was really good too.
yeah, and it's like The World Ends With You. I'm actually surprised a lot of people have never played that.
Or
You know,
even heard of it. I was like, timeline blew up with people who didn't even know what it was.
yeah, I was like, what, really? They're like, yeah, I've never heard that before. I was like, that's one of the greatest games of all time. I'm glad it's gonna have like the ability to use like the D-pad and the analog stick to move around and whatnot, because I kind of got annoyed with the touchscreen interface on the DS, but the game kept me hooked. But yeah, I just really feel like Square, the current Square, I think they've just kind of got inflated. And as far as like Final Fantasy as a franchise, I read a quote from Nobuo Uematsu, and he said that he thinks that Final Fantasy as a franchise should have died when Hironobu Sakaguchi left. Like,
That was
what are your,
9, right?
was it not? Yeah, it was 9. Yeah,
I could see it.
or was it 10 as well? I think no, he directed 10. I think I could be wrong, but
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I just felt like the soul of Final Fantasy after I love, as much as I love 10, I felt 9 had such a amazing world to it. Like the story, the lore, the
Hmm.
characters just felt alive, and I kind of, it kind of came off, with when I went to 10. I felt like 10 was kind of like I'm on a roller coaster. I'm going from here to here to here to here. It was very linear.
Yeah, people like to get
Uh,
on Final Fantasy 13 for that, but 10 is what started that.
yeah. And then Final Fantasy 12, which is funny. I've got the original PlayStation 2 release as well as the PS4 remaster, and I still haven't touched it.
Same.
Just because, and a lot of people are, when I went to look into it, a lot of people that I know have played it, they're like, it's split. It's either people loved it, they love the combat, they love the story, or other people say, hey, the combat was pretty good, but the story just wasn't there. And I guess the main character shouldn't have been the main character.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. Like I don't know. I just feel like they're kind of just all over the place with it.
Yeah,
And then
but I,
oh, go ahead.
I think like Final Fantasy is at this point where I can't even recognize Final Fantasy anymore. Like I'm looking at Final Fantasy 7 remake and it's just like, okay, it's just an action game with Cloud.
Yeah.
Like even Project Octopath and Bravely Default look more Final Fantasy to me than Final Fantasy.
And did they confirm that with the 7 remake that they're going to actually switch that over to, like, is it going to be action based, kind of like Crisis Core, or is it going to be turn based?
Kingdom Hearts to me.
Oh God, I think
Yeah,
they
have the
don't need
same
to do
interface.
that. I'm not happy to hear that. Because I feel like all they had to do is just refine the battle system just a little bit, tighten up the story. Because I know a lot of people never played Dirge of Cerberus, which I played it and beat it. I kind of dredged through that game, but the ending of that game basically made it seem like that there's going to be something else, and we're a decade after it's released, and there's still nothing. So that, I mean, the story's not done. I mean, they're gonna I'm guessing this is their way of trying to rope fans back in. I don't know. I mean, it looks good, but if it's gonna be Kingdom Hearts style, I don't think that, or even Final Fantasy 15 style. Like, I don't think that's. I don't know. I guess that appeals to the newer generation of gamers. It doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, but like Final Fantasy really didn't have to do that. I think when people wanted Final Fantasy remake all these years, they just wanted it to be a prettier version of Final Fantasy VII, not a completely different game.
Yeah, yeah. That's and I agree with you 100%. They should have just spruced it up and kept it the same. Because I mean, the battle system is solid.
Yeah.
So, do you think that's gonna drop this year, or you think that's probably 2-3 years out?
Final Fantasy?
The remake.
I'm putting that towards PS5. Like I don't even see that coming out on PS4.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I think. Do you think? I think. Okay. Do you think we're gonna get the PS5 in 2019 or 2020?
I need to see what Sony's E3 looks like this year.
Yeah.
Announcements. I'm putting PS5 for next year.
If cause I remember, I forgot who it was. I think it was Dreamcast guy. I think that YouTuber, he did the video where he said that his source in Microsoft said that the next one's coming out. And then, did you see that Forbes magazine actually made an article about him?
About Dreamcast guy?
Yeah, to
I haven't
discredit
seen
him.
it.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was like, oh wow.
No, I haven't seen it.
I don't, I used to work for Microsoft actually when I lived up in Washington, and that kind of a leak, I don't necessarily know if his source is 100% credible with that, because the way Microsoft has you sign like NDAs, like it's in every NDA clause with them. Like if anything leaks out and they trace it back to you, they're coming for you with everything they got.
Yeah.
but
go ahead. PS5 could launch next year if we don't see Death Stranding gameplay this year. I think PS5 launches next year. Because we've just been seeing trailers. It's probably not good enough to be running on PlayStation 4 right now, and they don't want to show it and it's all janky or something.
That trailer for Death Stranding, the most recent one, that was crazy as hell. Like I don't even know what I was watching.
I mean, it's a Kojima game. It's it's kind of out.
I was thinking, like, the first thing that came to mind, I'm like, this is gonna be a mind fuck, kind of like Metal Gear Solid 2 was.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested, but yeah, I would like to see some gameplay for Death Stranding, especially.
But what are your thoughts on Metal Gear Survive, which I think it drops next month, I think.
It looks like it could be a decent multiplayer experience, but that game is going to get destroyed by fans in the media.
Oh, yeah. Oh, all right. Okay, so next topic we're going to go into Microsoft. As a whole, the company is doing well, software-wise, outside of the Xbox brand. A lot of people don't understand that Microsoft they have so much money, especially being in the healthcare field, which I work in. They've got it on lock, the IT field. The only area that they seem to just be doing so horribly in is Xbox. And, as Blandrew, like you said earlier, it seems like they've lost their sense of identity in this generation.
Yeah, because I like to watch a lot of documentaries on like how companies and stuff became to be. And Microsoft was supposed to be the hardcore box. And then when I look at what they were doing last year, Super Lucky's Tale, Cuphead, Voodoo Vince, Disneyland at 4K. Like, they need to step it up, man. It was pathetic last year.
Oh, yeah. Minecraft in 4K, too.
Yeah, Minecraft. And they have a lot of good IP under their belt, too, but they just don't use them.
Yeah, it's like, the guaranteed things you're going to get every year. You're going to always get a Forza. It's either going to be alternating between Horizon and Motorsport. Mm-hmm. And then they have they got Halo, which I feel like Halo should have stopped at 3 or Reach.
Yeah, Reach. I thought Reach was really good.
Like, I played 4 and I played 5, and I'm like, this just doesn't – it feels like it's trying too much to be like their take on like Call of Duty. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, and it does makes things worse when the head of the company says he wants Halo around for the next 200 years. I mean,
for real?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how they would do that. I mean, listen, the current story is like the whole Reclaimer arc, and I'm like, it's just boring. And then they took out the co-op.
Oh yeah, I remember that. It was online. Was it online only or something? Or was it, they just take it out completely?
I think in 5 it was online only, and 4 they just removed it entirely. Oh. I have no idea why they did that. It did not make sense. Yeah, and oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
No, I was gonna say, like, it doesn't make sense with how amazing the 360 was from day one till it ended. They were doing so well, and it's like, how can you not transfer the essence of what that was to the Xbox One? And it's more than just that PR blunder they had in 2013. I don't know what's going on. Like,
I just think they need to get new people in charge. As much as people like to give Don Matrick a lot of mess, I think Don Matrick actually put a lot of good games on the Xbox. Because even me, as somebody who doesn't really care about the Xbox brand and is more PlayStation and Nintendo, Xbox probably had a better first year than the PlayStation 4. Because they got games like Horizon, Killer Instinct, Forza, Sunset Overdrive. They had a lot of good stuff their first year, but after that, it just kind of gotten weak.
Yeah, I think it was around 2015. It just kind of tailored off, and
as soon as what's that game, Scream Riot came out, it's just been kind of
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that.
Yeah, it was like the tides changed when Scream Riot came out. Then it was like Bloodborne, and then Sony started doing really good with their games. Then Microsoft slowed down.
Yeah, because like with PlayStation 4, I feel like they didn't really get the definitive exclusives until like 2016. Because I remember when, was it the Order 1886 or whatever? That has so much hype to be a poor man's Gears of War.
Yeah, the Gears Killer is what they were calling it.
Did they shut that studio? No, that's Santa Monica Studios, right?
That's I forgot what they did with that studio, but I know they went on to make some weird indie game where you push balls off a cliff or something.
Oh man. But I feel like I'm gonna say, like, I feel like both Xbox and Sony for this generation, like in comparison to what the PS3 and Xbox 360 was, I just feel like there's not enough innovation. They didn't really push the envelope. I really feel like they could have delayed dropping the One and the PS4 until like 2015.
2016 for me.
Yeah, even 2016, like, and just made the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. That could have been like the next evolution.
Yeah, Nintendo too with that Wii U, but
yeah, like with the Wii U, if they were gonna do that, they could have dropped that at the same time of the 360 if they
Yeah.
want to compete. Like it just seemed like I remember when I first saw like what it was, and I remember the people that are around me, they're like, "Is this just an add-on to the Wii? Is it just like a controller?" I'm like, "No, it's a whole new console." And I think what really killed them with that one was having it have the same name.
Yeah. Did they even show the console when they first showed the Wii U? It might
They
have just been the
showed
tablet.
just the tablet. That was the only one. And they showed like some golf game simulator on it, and then that super realistic looking Zelda that we never got.
Yeah.
So I feel like everyone, well, I feel like with Nintendo, yeah, they definitely dropped the ball with that. But when it comes to like all the games that they're going to port over, because guaranteed, with how they've given a definitive version of Hyrule Warriors, of Smash Bros, of Pokken Tournament, the guaranteed Smash is coming.
You think so?
You don't think so? I think it's going to be one that's going to come out, if not this year, then probably next.
I think they're gonna. I think they're just going to say forget that game and just put out a new one instead.
Really? They could.
I mean, if we don't get a Smash Bros this year, I think we just get the new one next year, unless they port the Wii U one this year as like a little filler title, like they did the Zelda ones.
But do you think? Because Sakurai is not actually involved anymore, is he?
I hope not. I hope he's making Air Right too, but you know.
But I mean, if anything, I can see with how they've been, re-releasing titles. I actually think they could bring a deluxe version of it and just combine everything from like the 3DS one to, 3DS and the Wii U all in one.
And Ice Climbers.
When's the last time we had? Yeah, we haven't had Ice Climbers since Melee, right?
Yeah, no, Brawl.
Brawl, yeah. I don't understand why they didn't put Ice Climbers in to begin with the last one.
It's because the 3DS was too weak and they wanted it to be an equal experience all around. So you couldn't have exclusive characters on one version. So Ice Climbers had to go.
Okay. But yeah, I could see that happening with, a new one. I think, and this is kind of a reach, but I do think that we'll probably get a Star Fox Zero remaster at a cheaper price with better controls.
That definitely deserves a second chance with better controls. That was like they had a good game there, but trying to implement the Wii U and looking down and moving it all around was just a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they that was Miyamoto's idea, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Eh.
How do you feel about Hyrule Warriors coming to the Switch? I think that's one of the last games that should have been brought over from the Wii U. Especially if you have like Fire Emblem Warriors right now trying to be that Musou game and you just bring Hyrule Warriors over.
To be honest, I actually agree with you because I think Nintendo did not give Fire Emblem Warriors any real publicity because it came out a few days to a week before Odyssey.
Yeah, the week before Odyssey.
And so I think it really doesn't make sense because they play so similar as it is. I mean, give or take a few different mechanics and, the strategic extra that Fire Emblem has. What is really different other than you get to play as a Zelda character? I'm thinking the whole point is just to say, hey, we have another Zelda-like title. Here you go.
Yeah.
Really?
Like Fire Emblem Warriors would have been better as a January title. Like I'm not really playing anything right now except for backlog stuff.
Yeah, it's like I feel like they kind of sent that out to die in a way because I mean, really, who's gonna pick that over Odyssey in that time frame?
Yeah, I only played it for like 30 minutes and then Odyssey came out. So
I think I got to like chapter 2 and I haven't touched it since. Oh man. Yeah, like of all the games like they could bring back, I don't agree with Hyrule Warriors. I would have preferred to have had Star Fox Zero or the Wonderful 101 or a
Yes,
sequel to it.
the wonderful 101 definitely deserves a second chance.
Tropical Freeze, that deserved it because I don't think enough people actually played that to begin with.
Hmm.
What else did they have on the Wii U?
Tokyo Mirage Sessions, I think, deserves a second chance. Like that came out just when people didn't care anymore.
I didn't even get to play that. Oh, hold up, I got police next to my. Oh no, that's an ambulance. I swear, I hate living right next to like the busiest intersection in town. Like I've got a fire station and police station like right there. um, but yeah, so Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Tell me about it because I own it. I just have not had the chance to play it because of my backlog. Like, what's your thoughts? What makes it so great?
Well, it's basically a Shin Megami well, it's basically just your regular dungeon crawling RPG, but it's more idle based, and it's like stars the Fire Emblem character. So like one character, I forget what the main character's name is called, but he's basically your Crom. Then you have the other characters. Like it's just a really good game. Like I don't really want to go into it like story heavy for people like listening to it or anything, but yeah, that's definitely one of the games that deserves a second chance for the Switch.
Did that one sell very well, or
No,
really?
yeah, I don't think it sold well at all.
Wow. I'd be surprised if you said that Xenoblade Chronicles X outsold that.
I'm sure Xenoblade definitely outsold that.
Dang. Well, speaking of Chronicles X, you think we're gonna get a remaster of that?
I think the creator said he wanted to bring it over to the Switch.
Did you like it a lot?
It was all right. Story, I mean, it just felt like a side mission kind of game. Like there wasn't a whole lot of story going on, but I thought it was pretty good.
I enjoyed the combat. I love the graphics. I love the open world. But coming off of like I'm a huge fan of the Xeno series. You know, I've always been brought into the series because of the story. And coming off of having beaten Xenoblade Chronicles 1 going into X, it just didn't do it for me. The story
Yeah,
just it never hooked me at any point.
yeah. I think having a silent protagonist was a bad idea too.
And what I don't even understand the point of having the avatar thing to begin with. Like we could have just put us in the shoes of Elma, since
Yeah,
she was kind of the main character anyway.
it was just a
But
it was an all right game. I don't think like it's bad or anything like a lot of people say, but I don't think it's great either.
have you heard that people are saying that it's better than 2?
Dude, that's so insane to me. Like I don't get what people see in Xenoblade Chronicles X that would make them feel that way.
I swear, like if you go on Game Facts, it's like cancerous topics, man. Like I don't understand the excessive hate that people have for it. They're like, oh well, the art style in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is horrible, the gameplay is horrible, the graphics are horrible. I'm like, wait, we're praising Xenoblade Chronicles X being better. I
Okay,
remember
first
when that.
we need to get off this art style stuff. Does anybody not remember how Xenoblade Chronicles X actually looked? Characters look insane.
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
And the gameplay, I think Xenoblade Chronicles X, I mean, 2 has one of the best RPG combat systems I've ever seen. The story, it's not even up for debate. The characters were way better in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And the world, there was actually stuff to do in that world instead of just open fields with monsters roaming around.
How far have you gotten in so far?
I think I'm at chapter 8 right now. I'm just doing a lot of side missions and grinding.
Yeah, because like you're like 130 hours in.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, because but you played the other Xeno games, though, right? You played
Yeah,
Gears and Saga.
I played a bit of Gears. I need to go back and beat that, but I played the Xenosagas and Xenoblades. Yeah.
Okay, when you get to chapter 10, and then when you beat it, I'm gonna tell you this now. It You could say everything ties together, even Gears.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like that ending. Okay, so you remember, and I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. I'm just I'm just gonna say it ties everything. Like I'm not even reaching. Like when I watched that, I was like, wow, they they really tied it all together. I mean, maybe it's because Namco and Square also helped out with making it. Maybe they gave him permission to allude to it,
Like
but
reference some stuff.
yeah. But when you get to chapter 10, yeah, you'll see it.
I'm really excited to get beat this game already.
What level are you right now?
I think I'm like level 57.
God damn, man. I was like level 40 something on chapter 8. Damn.
Oh, I thought you beat the game already.
No, I did, but I beat the game. I barely made it to level 70. I beat it at level 69.
Oh, all right.
But it's just like there was so much the one thing I really love about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is there's so much you can do. Like that world is so alive.
Mm-hmm.
Like the side quest, it's so funny because my wife right now, she's like 100 and I want to say like 120, 130 some hours, kind of like you right now
Mm-hmm.
in the game, and all she's on chapter 5, and all she's doing is side quests. I'm like, are you gonna touch the story? She's like, after I do a side quest.
Have you done any of the side quests for the blades?
I skipped all of them. I feel like
No,
I should have done
those
it.
are so good. Like that's the main reason I haven't been getting onto the story.
Um, Wait, so you did the one side quest for the chick that's in Gormati?
Gourmet. Which chick?
Forgot her name, but she's kind of looks like Cosmos, but with the blonde hair and the wings.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah, I got her.
man, I see now. I need to go back and play it.
That was a long side quest, but yeah, it was a good story.
Man, but yeah, like that's one of the things I felt that there's always so much to do, like that I almost felt like the side quests were pulling me away from the main story. And the story, like I've heard people say that it's like a typical Saturday morning anime story, and I'm like,
No,
it's
it's
far from
not.
that. Oh man. I don't get the hate the game gets. Like, do you think the rating that people gave it was fair? Like an 8, was it an 86 or 8 point something?
Well, it the only review I actually read about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was from Kotaku, and it's from a guy who didn't like Xenoblade or Xenoblade Chronicles X to begin with, and naturally he gave Xenoblade Chronicles 2 a low score. So, but I did see the Metacritic score, and they're about the same rating, Xenoblade Chronicles X and 2, and I think either 2 should be higher or X should be lower.
Yeah. And two, I feel like there's also some controversy where people were trying to go in and write like horrible reviews to try and drop the score. I feel like the hate towards Nintendo in general last year was just insane.
Yeah.
Like I don't even understand it, like why people were getting so emotional about it. Like it's, you know, this bringing more people into the gaming industry. Like what I didn't get all the hate.
Yeah.
But
Oh, especially pre Switch. That was the worst.
yo, I remember that. Like even the guy from that did Titanfall 2, I remember they did like
Oh
an
yeah, he was
interview with
one of the first people to like get the Switch.
like yeah, like everybody was betting on it, like saying, "Oh yeah, this game is definitely gonna flop. It's never gonna like this console's gonna flop."
Yeah.
You know, Nintendo should just die. Like so many people were saying Nintendo should just die and be third party. I was like, wow.
People were saying that the Switch was doomed without Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yo,
Like
I remember that.
pre-Switch was crazy.
Oh my god, yo, people were going crazy with that.
Just for Zelda to outsell all versions of Mass Effect Andromeda.
And the fact of the matter is, like, if you really want to be technical, it's crazy that Zelda, being originally a Wii U title, outsold all
Yeah.
of those games. Oh man, that's crazy. Do you think we might get Persona 5 on the Switch?
Atlas has a history of porting Persona to like mobile, like Persona 1, 2, 3. Persona 1, 2, and 3 came to PSP. Persona 4 came to PS Vita. Unless Persona 5 is coming to Vita, I think they might release that for the Switch. I mean, I don't think there's any reason why they can't put that game on the Switch, unless they just put it on the PC, because I think Sega said they want games like Yakuza and Persona to go to PC. So I think it has a strong chance on the Switch.
I think it would probably sell the best on the Switch because if I'm correct, when they put Persona 4 Golden on the Vita, it outsold the original Persona 4.
It might have, because Persona 4 came out when I think PS4, PS3, and 360 were out when Persona 4 came out.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah,
people weren't really caring about that game at the time.
Yeah, definitely Persona 5, I think it would do really well on the Switch. I think if they were to bring Yakuza to the Switch, that would be amazing. And a lot of people, I've actually talked to a lot of people about putting Yakuza on the Switch, and then they're saying that, oh, Nintendo would never have a Yakuza title. I'm like, yeah, they did. They actually had, I think, 3 or 4.
No, it was a Yakuza HD remaster for the Wii U. It was Japan exclusive though.
Yeah, I think that would do. I think the series would do well on the Switch, or if not, bring Shenmue 1 and 2.
Yeah. Well, they just need to release that in general, but yeah. Because like Yakuza, whenever I run these polls, Yakuza surprisingly always wins for like games they would like to see on the Nintendo Switch.
I mean, I don't understand why. Okay, Sega. And I'm probably gonna go on a rant here, but I don't understand Sega. I don't understand what they're doing with the amount of amazing IPs they have, and then they just drop Sonic Forces.
Don't even get me started on Sonic Forces. I'm trying to
Yo,
wipe that game from my memory right now.
I saw your video, man. That was amazing.
Yeah, people still getting after me to this day from that video.
It's like they could bring back Sega. They're sitting on a gold mine of IPs. They could come and bring an HD remaster of Skies of Arcadia.
Yeah,
it would sell. Like Amy in the chat said, Samba de Amiga, that would sell on the Switch.
Rhythm games, please.
They could bring back
Super Monkey Ball.
Exactly.
I've been asking for Super Monkey Ball 3s for like the longest.
Like there's so much they could even bring back Streets of Rage, like give us 4.
Yeah, and they have a lot of IPs that don't need these super huge budgets to game them.
Exactly. Or even Knights.
Streets of Rage could easily just be like an eShop game for $15 to $20.
Yep. It's crazy. Like they have, even when it comes to RPGs, like Sega was no slouch when it came to RPGs with the Phantasy Star and the Shining Force series.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why it is that Sega just wants to bring Sonic back over. It's like Sonic is their experimentation for everything.
Hello.
Sonic 06, Sonic. What is it? Sonic Boom, Sonic and the Black Knight. Like, what are they doing?
I don't know.
What's another title? Like, I think, and I'm pushing because I'm really reaching here. I think that if Sega were to bring Virtua Fighter back, I think it would be really good for the industry because there's really nothing that's out that can really compete with Tekken
Tekken.
right now. You know,
I
I
mean,
think. Go
I
ahead.
always thought Virtua Fighter was well. I mean, well, Soul Calibur's coming out. I mean, that's about the closest that we got, but that's Namco too. So, but I always thought Virtua Fighter was better than Tekken, anyways. Like after Tekken 3, I was just great, but nothing spectacular anymore.
Well, I agree with you. Like I felt like with how well that they did the last Virtua Fighter, which was a digital download only, and I talked about it on my previous podcast with YouTuber Sigalacious. We were talking about how Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown was so amazing. Like they could have just, if they were to bring that back, or if they built upon the foundation of that with 6, I think it would do well. Like it finally giving Tekken a run for its money, because for me, Tekken went down after. Well, I love 3, I hated 4, and I
Same,
loved 5.
same.
6, I just feel like with Tekken 6, it became like an anime.
That's the one with Lars, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
it
just
was it was so over the top. And then then with them pushing forward the Devil Gene to the point now, like that whole story just makes no sense
yeah. They wrapped it up, didn't they?
on a cliffhanger, because they killed off Heihachi and then ended it with, "Oh, Jin, you need to stop him." That's it. So yeah, I don't. I would love to see a Virtua Fighter Tekken crossover, but I don't on the last podcast, we were trying to figure out how the control scheme would work
Yeah, I was
because
about to say you can't do like if it's going to be Virtua Fighter / Tekken with Tekken gameplay. I mean, it's just whatever. But I prefer Virtua Fighter gameplay over Tekken's.
since you're in the fighting games, do you compete in any tournaments, or are you part of the FGC?
With friends and like online and stuff like that.
But and this could be a random question, but if you could bring back any fighting game, which one would it be, or any two?
Never really thought about that. I don't know. Well, because like Capcom, they have a lot of great IP under their belt, but like I said, Capcom versus SNK 3, love, but I don't trust modern day Capcom with that game. And then they have Tatsunoko versus Capcom. So those would be my picks or rival school, but as long as they live up to the quality of the past games.
See, my fear of Capcom versus SNK.
Take out Tatsunoko and put in Power Stone. That would be a great online multiplayer game.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's asking Capcom for Power Stone. Capcom doesn't want to give us Power Stone. They don't want to give us Mega Man Legends 3.
Yeah, I think they're worse than Sega.
But they can give us port after port after port of Resident Evil 4. Like I'm so tired of that game.
Yeah.
But as far as Capcom versus SNK 3, I would love for them to do that. But I'm so afraid that they're going to be, if they were to bring it back, it would be done kind of like Marvel versus Capcom Infinite is.
Yeah, like a project they don't even really care about. It's just there.
Yeah. Like that. And I'm thinking they would probably go 3D with it. And I would not want it to be 3D. I would want to, if anything, if they were going to do it, I would want them to take the King of Fighters 13 graphics and gameplay and just mash that in with like Mark of the Wolves and with Third Strike and Alpha, like kind of like how they did with 2. I think it would work perfectly. Like there's so much money to be made in the Capcom versus SNK 3. I've heard that they might do another Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I don't want them to do that.
That was terrible.
I mean, they should have just said, this is Street Fighter 4.5.
Yeah.
None of those
especially,
Tekken characters played the same.
especially what they did to Mega Man in that game.
Why bad box heart Mega Man?
They were just on this Mega Man slander campaign back in the day.
Oh my goodness. Oh, what are your thoughts on like the on Akuma and then now having Geese Howard and now Noctis and Tekken? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think they're good for like hype, like because it's always good to have like guest characters from other popular franchises, but I don't really care about any of those characters, respectfully.
I mean, if anything, if they're gonna bring a SNK character to Tekken, my first choice would not have been Geese. I would have preferred Terry Bogard.
Yeah, he's like the most popular Tekken character, isn't he?
Yeah.
I remember people were even voting for Kazuma Kiryu from Yakuza, but we got Noctis instead.
Noctis should have been in Soul Calibur. Like I saw like the trailer for his gameplay, and I'm like, why? He's fighting with like every attack is a sword attack. Oh man, like I don't know, like Noctis and Tekken, it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, if they're gonna put a Final Fantasy character in a hand-to-hand fighting game, it should have been somebody,
Tifa.
Either Tifa or what was the guy from Zeldench from 8, or some of the guys from Final Fantasy 6. Anyone but Noctis.
Yeah, it's probably because Noctis is the most relevant one right now, but still could have done a whole lot better with that there.
Yeah. Oh, did you get to try the Dragon Ball Fire Z?
Well, I didn't, not this recent one, but I tried it back in the summer. I think it was when they had the original beta going on.
What did you think about it?
Yeah, it was kind of simple, and there was like a lot of flashes on the screen. I couldn't really tell what was going on half the time, but game. I'm not really expecting to go crazy and like learn the ins and outs of it though.
There's been a lot of people saying that they think that this will be the next big fighting game. Do you think that's true?
I can see it. I mean, there's not really much it's competing with right now.
Yeah. I mean, I played the beta. Like, I streamed a little bit of it last night. I found it fun. It's just, I mean, there's a lot of depth to it. I could see, like, if you're going to get down to, like, counting frames and the move list is kind of limited, but the combination and cross-up capability is really there. But as far as it topping, like, Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition or Tekken or Soul Calibur, that... I don't know.
Yeah, it's not going to do all that much, but I think there's going to be a decent enough following for that, especially since it's how entry level that game is, and it's not as hard to learn as other games.
Yeah, like I mean, I do hope it does well. Overall, I think as far as like Street Fighter 5 goes, I know I need to go ahead and download that today and start playing it. I hear it's like a 15 gig update.
Jeez.
But my whole thing with Street Fighter 5, I know we wouldn't have had that without Sony, but the whole problem I feel like with 5 is they catered that towards the FGC, and then they just kind of ignored the casuals, and then you got the FGC who don't even like it. Like, yeah. What's like, yeah, it's so funny. Like, all I hear is a lot of complaining about Street Fighter 5, but that's all they play. And it's so funny because I heard the same complaining about Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 3 back in the day, and it's like, you guys can't be made happy.
But yeah, it's like I've been saying since the very beginning, trying to cater your game exclusively to the FGC is when you should be focusing on their audience, because the FGC is not going to carry Street Fighter 5 and make it sell millions upon millions. If you're not releasing the full game there day one, people aren't going to care.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that actually just put Street Fighter down for the last 2 years, and they're probably picking it back up just now because that thing was bare bones.
Yeah, there wasn't even don't even think there was like one player versus CPU or training or anything day one.
Not day one. I think they added that in like probably half a year later, and then I just feel like that's constantly charging $30 for a season each time. That just rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, so now my Street Fighter costs the base game is 60, and then I got to top on $30 over the course of 2 years. Like, really? I'm paying 120, and I still don't have as many characters as 4.
Yeah. And they're all, and a lot of those characters were characters that should have been in there in the first place.
Exactly.
Like Sakura.
And see, that was the thing I didn't understand. Like, how are you going to put Kyrene in the game and not have Sakura?
Exactly.
But yeah, man, I don't understand that. Like, I don't know what they're doing with that. But anyway, so I guess going on to the last topic. So there's a lot of people that have been asking about how to get into YouTube. I know out here in Hawaii, I'm probably one of the very few. I think there's like 3 of us out here that do YouTube. And question I get a lot, and I'm sure you get this question a lot too, is how to get started, how much time does it take, and the level of consistency, and do you think it's for everyone? So, like, what are some of your thoughts on that?
Well, it depends on exactly what you want to do. Like, if you want to get into the gaming side of things, it can be expensive because you need like a good mic, a capture card, editing software, and all that stuff. But overall, just have fun with it. Like, it really shouldn't be this whole thing that you stress yourself out about. Just be like me, cancel all your projects if you don't really feel like doing anything anymore. And yeah, just have fun with it. It's not like something you should really be stressing about.
And like the people, like I constantly hear a lot of people ask about like, oh, subscribers, you should be chasing subscribers and chasing views and chasing likes. I think, in my own personal opinion, I just think that's not a good idea to focus on, because that's unnecessary stress I think people put on themselves. I think it's so long, I'm gonna agree with you, so long as like you're enjoying it, that's really all that matters. And I feel like a lot of people, they lose sight of it, or they're jumping into it for money, like it's a quick thing. And I don't know, like yeah. um I guess my advice, um like Blandrew said, just have fun with it. uh Really, I mean, like you said, as far as projects, like if your heart's not in doing something, like I've got a lot of videos that I've actually pre-recorded everything and I've got it set. I just need to like edit and put everything together, and I just don't have the motivation or desire to do it. So, you know.
One thing I'll also say is avoid drama. Like, I know a lot of channels that go back and forth with each other, and then they want to actually start a gaming channel, then nobody cares. So just avoid that. I mean, it's entertaining, but it's not something I'd recommend going into.
Yeah, that's so much drama on YouTube. It's ridiculous. Yeah, people definitely avoid the drama and just have fun with it. Like, if one of the things I've found, like I've had times where I can do a video and I can do a review on something or do like a reaction, and I'll get really negative feedback. And some people that just, there are some people that just want to argue and they just want to hear themselves, or they just want to correct you. And
Mm-hmm.
when you run into those type of people, I just feel like, don't give them that energy. Just be like, okay, and just keep it moving.
Pretty much, yeah. Just don't really feed into that stuff. Just worry about doing you and whatever content you want to make. Don't go into YouTube trying to be the next PewDiePie or anything, because you're just gonna end up disappointed and get mad and want to quit. But if you're doing it just as a hobby, I think it's a pretty fun thing to do.
Especially when you can start getting review copies of games. That's definitely the big bonus. So as far as I know there's some people that have asked me if it's a good idea to do YouTube full time. or to just drop like their career or whatever and go into it full time. I personally think it's a bad idea given how there's so many policy changes left and right. They could demonetize all your videos, and it's just not a stable platform in my opinion.
Yeah. They can demonetize for stuff that doesn't even make sense.
Exactly. And it's all I want to know, is it really all just to cater towards advertisers or their partners, or it's just a random algorithm that they do? Like I've never
I,
figured that out.
apparently, it's for advertisers. I think, what was the first? How did this even start again? I don't want to say PewDiePie is what started it with the whole N-word thing, but what was what started this whole YouTube purge thing?
It was something before PewDiePie. Was it was
Because
it
I
that
remember, I remember
guy?
they like started cracking down on even games that were rated M. Like I can't monetize any of my Yakuza or Nier videos anymore.
Was it that it wasn't that other YouTuber that got cut from, it wasn't JonTron, was it?
It, it was somewhere around that time. I don't want to put the blame on him, but I do remember something around that time.
Yeah. Well, someone in the chat said it was the ads on ISIS. It could have been that.
Oh, okay. Okay, I remember. That one PewDiePie did that whole stunt thing.
Oh yeah.
And he said like
Yeah.
ISIS was going to kill him or whatever like that.
Ugh. Yeah, that's
Be something you want to be doing full time.
I think too, like I feel like if you're gonna go into it full time, if you're gonna do it that way, you should at least be on like be able to do like with like was it iJustine or Marquez Brownlee or MKBHD, like where you can put up a video and you don't have to worry about constantly throwing something out because you've got an endorsements or you've got sponsorships. Like if you're gonna go and that's gonna be your primary thing, at least have a side hustle with other income coming in. Like
Yeah.
I, yeah, that being your sole thing. But yeah, I mean, anything else you got in your mind or any of the
Not
topics?
really.
All
I'm
right,
just
so I
working on
guess
editing this video right now. So
all right, I guess we can go ahead and wrap it up, man. I definitely want to thank you for coming through for the podcast. You know, episode 9.
yeah, no problem, man.
Definitely, man. Like, big fan of your content. Everybody, if you're watching, if you haven't already, definitely go subscribe to Blandrew's channel. I'll have the link for his channel in the description below. If you want to go ahead and plug your channel, let people know.
You can find me on my YouTube channel at Blandrew. I'll be uploading a video later this week about 5 sequels I want to see for the Nintendo Switch. So yeah, look out for that.
All right. Then this is your host, MekelKasanova of the Kasanova Podcast. You can catch me on now. If you want to catch this podcast, you can catch it on Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play Music, and Spotify. So just look up the Kasanova Podcast, Kasanova with the K, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Later.